Missed an episode of your favorite podcast? Choose from over a decade of content in our archives, not just the latest episode. All free at gcnlive.com.
This is your call to action. Get prepared, America. Economy, survival, energy, disasters. This is USAPrepares.com. Informative radio, educational radio. Interact now by emailing instructor@USAPrepares.com or text at 434-390-7953. Class, please take your seats. Now, your instructor, Vincent Finelli.
You dialed that correctly to USAPrepares.com. We're broadcasting 2 hours from high atop the Missouri Ozark Mountains. There's a link to your instructors on the website, USAPrepares.com. Trevor's engineering the broadcast in Minnesota. I'm Vincent Finelli. And today we're going to be talking about bees. Yep, bees. And Jeffrey Maddox is with us. Welcome, Jeffrey Maddox.
Good morning. How are you?
I am well, Jeffrey. Hey, listen, you're a big hit whenever you come and talk about bees, and I'm all excited because on Monday, next Monday, you're going to be teaching a class at the meetup on Monday about raising bees, why we need bees, how to keep them comfortable and thriving, and I'm all excited about that. So that's next Monday at Jimmy's Egg in Springfield, Missouri. So Jeffrey Maddox will be there. And Maddox Bees, MADDOXBEES.com. MaddoxBees.com. So Jeffrey, I was thinking, what is a good use for that bee and wasp spray? I went to the internet just for the broadcast, and for about $5, you can get a can of Raid, a bonus can. It has 25% more.
Bonus can.
Yeah, and it's wasp and hornet killer. It's actually called Raid Wasp and Hornet Killer, and there's some features that this can has. It kills wasps and hornets on contact. It destroys the larvae and the pupae in the nest. It will kill an entire nest population. It contains no CFCs or other ozone-depleting substances, and it is a box of spray killer. Now, what would a person use that for besides like a home invasion or a carjacking? Well, I can't imagine any other use for that stuff. Can you?
Well, I suppose if you wanted to toxify your environment a little bit more, you could use it. But honestly, if you have a problematic insect, soapy water does the same thing. So, little dish soap and some water will do it. Now, a lot of people don't like the yellow jackets or the paper wasps up in the trees, and those are fine. But if you've got honeybees, it'd be much better if you would call a beekeeper and let us take them away for you instead of killing them.
Yeah, and I have a neighbor. We have a wonderful neighbor who bought some beekeeping equipment, maybe some do-it-yourself beekeeping equipment, and started raising bees right across the road from us. Well, right across the road is over a mile away, but I think it's wonderful, and I was actually kind of hoping some of those bees would fly over here and like our neighborhood, or our farm too. So let me ask you, Jeffrey, we see these bees, we see these flying insects. Let's just stay with the bees for now. We see them and they fly by and we go, where do they go? Where do they go after they do a flyby?
Well, bees will forage easily within 2 miles of the hive in any direction. So if your neighbor's a mile away, his bees will be working in your yard with no problem.
I love it.
If you get down, there's been some interesting studies down in the desert areas where forage is much more sparse, and bees will fly 4 or 5 miles if they have to, but that'll wear them out pretty quick. So they're like any other animal. They want to not work harder than they have to, so they will forage what's close to home. But 2 miles is well within their range.
So Jeffrey, as they're foraging, what are they looking for?
They're looking for nectarine flowers that have a good payload. Certain flowers like tulip poplars have quite a large nectar reserve in the flower. So they will preferentially work flowers like that. Flowers that are in the Rosaceae family, fruit trees, apple trees, viburnums, other shrubs that are in the Rosaceae family, the rose family, have a lot of nectar compared to other flowers, so they'll tend to work them very hard. At this time of year, we've got the oaks are in bloom, the sassafras are in bloom, a lot of the trees are in bloom, and the bees are working really hard. This is the mother lode of feeding times for honeybees. They do most of their honey collection in April, May, and June here in the Ozarks, and they'll be working it hard for the next 3 months. They're sort of the ultimate preppers. They have 3 months to gather all the food they need for the next 9 months until next spring. So it's a lot of work.
Okay, so Jeffrey, why is it? Well, let's go right after these ordinance writers. I called the city of Springfield a couple of years ago, literally a couple of years ago, and I said, "So, raising bees in Springfield, what do I have to know?" And the city said, "No, you can't do that. You can't. Well, actually, you can. If you have a property that's large enough, you can raise bees." I said, "Okay, so how large?" 20 acres. And I said, "Oh, well, that's great. That's great." So Walmart is the only the only property owner in the city of Springfield that has 20 acres. So Walmart can raise bees. But what about the rest of us? Well, we have an ordinance against it. So how do you feel about, as someone who raises and encourages bee life, if you will, how do you feel about city ordinances against raising bees?
Well, most people are not really opposed to the bees. They write the ordinances so that they have some enforcement capabilities. If there's no ordinance, then if someone has bees, they have no way to control that person if they're a bad beekeeper. Unfortunately, here in Springfield, we had a lady reported. I don't know who she was or what she was doing, but apparently she was not taking care of her bees very well, and they were bothering some neighbors. And so, but the neighbors had no recourse because there was no ordinance. There were lots of beehives in the city before the ordinance was passed. There still are lots of beehives in the city. But like most of the population, 98% of those people never bother their neighbors. It's the 2%, the rotten apples, which ruin the load for everybody else. So the ordinances get passed, and then the cities have a way to go after somebody if they're being the bad apple.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know exactly what that's like. I just talked to the mayor of the city of Lebanon yesterday afternoon, and he told me that, well, we got a complaint about you. There was this guy from Ohio, and he complained about the way I dealt with the cops at the expo. So the city of Lebanon is taking it out on me because some jerk came to the expo and complained to the city about how I dealt with the cops, which I think I dealt with them very professionally, but I did not want them to be at the expo. So one jerk causes a huge problem for everybody. So I'd love to know who this guy is. And if I find out who this guy is from Ohio that complained about us, I'll make sure I give you his phone number and you can call him and tell him what you think, because we can't go back to Lebanon anymore. Lebanon Expo is done. We're not going back to Lebanon ever again. Because, well, the city of Lebanon decided that they wanted to declare war on us. And here's what happened, Jeffrey. They came with a fire truck and they said, well, yeah, we had an electrical fixture that at the YMCA and we thought it might be a problem. So we called the fire trucks and they came out with lights and sirens and horns and scared our guests away. But they said to me that, look, the cops, there's a natural curiosity. So the cops want to come and they want to check us out. And so that means that the cops can, just because they wear badges and guns and tasers and body armor and handcuffs and all that kind of stuff, that they can do whatever they want. They don't have to pay to come in like everybody else. They can just do what they want. Well, I object to that. And I object to their presence. So if they want to come and be out of uniform, that's one thing. But if they want to push their weight around, no, I don't want them. So we're not going back to Lebanon. But, I understand. So you're talking about a situation with, one lousy beekeeper causing a problem for everybody else. Now, and that one lousy beekeeper is preventing the efficient pollination of food, right?
Well, they certainly make it harder. There are plenty of good beekeepers who are out there. It's always a shame that the one complainer gets more weight than the 99 people who compliment the process. So that's human nature, I suppose. But there are plenty of good beekeepers doing their job and plenty of bees around. One of the important points brought up in the ordinance process was the fact that there are already tons of wild beehives in the trees and in the walls of houses, and there are plenty of beehives already in the city that aren't causing problems. It's not as if when the ordinance is passed, there's all of a sudden going to be more bees than there were before. They're already here, and they're not causing problems.
Yeah, and that was my question. Like, where do they go? So they they do a flyby, and where do they go? So they live under eaves of houses. They find little homes in some of the old homes where they can find an opening and build a hive. That all makes sense to me. Let me ask you this, Jeffrey.
Go ahead.
What would life be like? Literally, what would life be like without bees?
Life would be a lot less pleasant without honeybees. They pollinate many of the foods we eat. Things like lemons, avocados, apples, peaches, pears, cherries, all these things that we eat that don't grow in the Midwest. Take lemons and avocados, for example. We love those things. But if we didn't have honeybees, the crop of lemons and avocados would be much, much smaller.
Hold that thought. Jeffrey Maddox, Maddox Bees, Maddox bees.com. How many of you want to learn how to dig up bugs, worms, and raise crickets for food? Do you prefer to eat them dried and crunchy or while still alive? Well, you won't have to if you can defend your food supply from predators. You may want to get an AR-15 kit from guns80.com. and build your own AR-15 rifle from a kit. If you can legally own a rifle, you can purchase this AR-15 kit. If you're handy, you can complete the rifle in about an hour. The kit comes with all the parts you're going to need to build your rifle, but you'll need a drill press. And survivalists need one anyway. The Guns80.com team purchased the same used floor-standing drill press that I have for $100. You can too. And when you're finished, you'll have a paperwork-free AR-15 rifle, a drill press, drill bits, and the knowledge to maintain your AR-15 rifle, all for less than you expect. So if you want a paperwork-free AR-15 parts kit like mine, visit guns80.com, guns80.com, and let the unprepared have our share of the bugs.
Making the right decisions is a challenge to investors. Are we going to see economic growth? Slide into at worst depression. Hi, Ted Anderson from Midas Resources. We all know when a company acts irresponsibly, divesting ourselves in a move towards safety is prudent. When the market becomes volatile, U.S. Treasuries are a safe haven. But what do you do when the U.S. government overextends itself and spends beyond its means? Many investors are turning toward gold as a common-sense alternative to traditional paper investments. Midas Resources has put together a powerful book titled 10 Reasons to Own Gold, discussing costs, benefits, risks, featuring full color illustrations, weights, and measures. The book is free and can be yours by calling 800-686-2237. Paper investments are dwarfed by gold's 6,000-year history. Discover how gold may be right for you and your IRA by calling 800-686-2237. Whether buying or it's time for you to sell, the book is free. Call 800-686-2237.
If the IRS has garnished your paycheck or seized money from your bank account, you need to get professional tax help now. Fast action is required to put a halt to these aggressive IRS collection tactics. You can count on the knowledgeable team of tax professionals at Wall & Associates. With over 30 years of experience, Wall & Associates has settled the tax problems of thousands of taxpayers for a small fraction of what they owed. For a free face-to-face consultation, call 1-800-425-4610 to put a wall between you and the IRS. 1-800-425-4610 or look for us on the web at wallandassociates.net. We solve tax problems. If you hire Wall & Associates today, you'll never have to talk to the IRS again. To stop the levies and seizures today, take action now. Call Wall & Associates at 1-800-425-4610. Wall & Associates. 1-800-425-4610. Based on actual cases, results may vary, not a solicitation for legal services.
We all know that Berkey water purification systems are the most trusted name in water filtration. As an authorized Berkey dealer for over 6 years and serving thousands of satisfied customers, the Berkey Guy offers amazing specials for Berkey water filtration systems. The Berkey Light systems include a set of self-sterilizing and recleanable black purification elements that purify water by removing chlorine, pathogenic bacteria, cysts, and parasites to non-detectable levels and remove harmful chemicals such as herbicides and pesticides. Order the Berkey Light system today, complete with 2 black Berkey elements for only $231, and the Berkey Guy will ship your order free of charge. With the purchase of a Berkey Light, the Berkey Guy is also offering a set of fluoride and arsenic filters for only $39.99. That's over 30% off the retail price. Call the Berkey Guy at 1-877-886-3653. That's 1-877-886-3653. Or order online at goberkey.com. That's goberkey.com today.
Class, Jeffrey Maddox is with us, maddoxbees.com. You've seen him at the Get Prepared Expo. You've seen him at the meetups, and he's been on the air with us multiple times, and it's great to have you with us, Jeffrey. And we're talking about bees and the importance of bees. And, some people who are naive think that bees are a nuisance and they want to kill them. Well, we don't think that's the way to go. We think that they're absolutely necessary for pollination. And you were talking about lemons and peaches and avocados and cherries and so forth. Let's say we want to, Jeffrey, let's be selfish, okay? Let's say we want to plant an orchard, and we want to grow some apples, and we want to grow some cherries, and let's say, I'm thinking of Missouri, okay? So maybe some pears. What would be the result of adding a beehive to, let's say we have a farmette, a farm, or a ranch? What would be the benefit of raising bees near that orchard?
2 big benefits. The first is that you would more than double your production off those trees, because the native pollinators in the environment are not evolved to pollinate those plants, and you would get less pollination. The second benefit is, take apples, for example. Apples need to be pollinated 6 to 8 times in order to develop a full round fruit like we're looking at, like we expect to have in the store. If an apple is only partially pollinated, only part of the seeds produce and grow, so you get lopsided, funky fruit that most people would pass over when they were going to choose an apple out of a pile of apples. They want the big round apple they've come to expect. That takes a lot of pollination. And that's why our big industrial agriculture of peaches and cherries and apples and all these fruits rely upon honeybees to pollinate their crops. So if you put a beehive in with your orchard here in Missouri, you're going to get more fruit and you're going to get better looking fruit.
Mm-hmm. So I'm trying to think of a single reason why I would not want to do this. I can't think of one, Jeffrey. Not one reason to not.
The only reason for anybody not to keep honeybees is if they are severely allergic. That's asking too much risk for the gain you're going to get from keeping honeybees. But less than 1/2 of 1%, so less than 0.5% of the population is severely allergic to honeybees. You come to those your preparedness expos and stuff, and probably half the people come through say, I'm allergic to bees, because they've been stung once and they swelled a little bit. Swelling is a natural reaction. A severe reaction is when you are having restrictions in your breathing or major hives or something like that, and there are very few people who have that. So most people could keep a beehive. Most of the farmsteads back in the 1800s would have a beehive or two or four. And it wasn't just for the honey, it was for the pollination, but there are other hive products that come out of a beehive. You're looking at beeswax, which they use to waterproof everything from their boots to their farm equipment to their farm implements. You take a block of beeswax and you rub it up and down the handle of your hoe or your rake or your axe, and what you've got is a waterproof, conditioned piece of wood that feels better in your hands instead of getting splinters and cracks and everything else. Woodworkers use the beeswax to keep wood from checking, to lubricate drill bits, to grease the hinges on your door. Beeswax is an excellent dry lubricant. The propolis that comes out of a beehive. Propolis is the tree resins and tree saps that honeybees collect, and they use it to coat everything on the inside of their hive to create an antibacterial coating on every single surface in that hive. They also use it to caulk all the cracks and to entomb their parasites. So they actually use it to build little prisons. But people took that propolis and they looked at what the bees did with it, and they looked at the condition of the wood inside the hive, and they say, we could use this stuff. That's how we got varnish. We started to take propolis, put it in an alcohol solution, and dilute it a little bit, and use that to create varnish. We got these ideas from honeybees.
There you go. When we come back, let's talk more about bees, and let's talk about do-it-yourself beekeeping. Let's build a hive, and let's raise some bees right here on the broadcast class from USAPrepares.com with Jeffrey Maddox. I'll be right back. How many of you want to learn how to dig up bugs, worms, and raise crickets for food? Do you prefer to eat them dried and crunchy or while still alive? Well, you won't have to if you can defend your food supply from predators. You may want to get an AR-15 kit from guns80.com and build your own AR-15 rifle from a kit. If you can legally own a rifle, you can purchase this AR-15 kit. If you're handy, you can complete the rifle in about an hour. The kit comes with all the parts you're going to need to build your rifle, but you'll need a drill press. And survivalists need one anyway. The Guns80.com team purchased the same used floor-standing drill press that I have for $100. You can too. And when you're finished, you'll have a paperwork-free AR-15 rifle, a drill press, drill bits, and the knowledge to maintain your AR-15 rifle, all for less than you expect. So if you want a paperwork-free AR-15 parts kit like mine, visit Guns80.com, Guns80.com, and let the unprepared have our share of the bugs.
This alert just came in. This special announcement is for business owners and leaders of organizations who've been waiting for the right time to build. General Steel has made it impossible to wait any longer with rock-bottom prices that could save you thousands. That's right, General Steel, America's leader in pre-engineered structures, is offering buildings at prices you will never see again. Don't miss these prices. A 50 by 100 for $35,000. You heard right, that's 5,000 square feet for $35,000. Manufacturers, if you need a larger building, try a 100 by 100 commercial building for $129,000. You can't afford to rent with these prices. Imagine a 70 by 100 foot church building for under $69,000. With the economy improving and interest rates still at historic lows, you can't afford to wait. So call 866-91-STEEL. Lock in your price now. Call 866-91-STEEL. That's 866-917-8335.
If the IRS has garnished your paycheck or seized money from your bank account, you need to get professional tax help now. Fast action is required to put a halt to these aggressive IRS collection tactics. You can count on the knowledgeable team of tax professionals at Wall & Associates. With over 30 years of experience, Wall & Associates has settled the tax problems of thousands of taxpayers for a small fraction of what they owed. For a free face-to-face consultation, call 1-800-425-4610 to put a wall between you and the IRS. 1-800-425-4610 or look for us on the web at wallandassociates.net. We solve tax problems. If you hire Wall & Associates today, you'll never have to talk to the IRS again. To stop the levies and seizures today, take action now. Call Wall & Associates at 1-800-425-4610. Wall & Associates, 1-800-425-4610. Based on actual cases, results may vary, not a solicitation for legal services.
Don't complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. Do something about it. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number, 1-855-905-MY-TV. The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV looks. Say goodbye to the cable guy and get more of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for less money. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. Sign up for packages starting as low as $19.99 and there's no equipment to buy. You get free HD TV upgrade, a free DVR upgrade, and free professional installation. You control what you watch when you watch it. Record your favorite shows, pause and rewind live TV, even skip the commercials. Watch local channels too. At just $19.99, what are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV. Say goodbye to the cable guy. Cut costs and get more. 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV.
Did you know that drinking pure, high-alkaline water is one of the most important factors in maintaining high energy and vibrant health? Most experts agree that the water you drink should be at a pH level of 8 or higher. AlkaVision Plasma pH Drops, available only at alkavision.com, combine a unique formula of only the most alkaline minerals. AlkaVision Plasma pH Drops alkalize your water, ridding the body of harmful toxins, and helps you regain health and energy. Alkalizing your water by simply adding 10 drops of AlkaVision Plasma pH Drops helps the body rid itself of acidic waste, increases oxygen content, and raises the pH of your body to healthy levels. And bacteria and viruses cannot survive in an alkaline high pH environment. Order your bottle of AlkaVision Plasma pH Drops for only $29.95 at alkavision.com. That's ALKAvision.com. Or call 269-409-1776. 269-409-1776. Alkalize your body. Supercharge your health at alkavision.com today.
Class Jeffrey Maddox is with us, Maddox Bees, Maddox Bees.com, and he's going to be at the meetup next Monday at Jimmy's Egg. So if you'd like to learn more about bees, beekeeping, and why you should raise bees, how to do it, Jeffrey Maddox will be with us at Jimmy's Egg next Monday in Springfield, Missouri. Information's on the website. Jeffrey, we're talking about propolis. Please continue with that, and then let's build a beehive, a do-it-yourself beehive.
Well, I was just speaking of the various products that came out of beehives, and everybody thinks about honey, but beeswax is important. The propolis was important. In other countries, they eat the larvae. You know, it's part of their food source. We don't do that here, but other people do it. And you want to talk about building your own beehive and keeping bees. I always try to remind people that the Egyptians kept bees, pioneers kept bees, indigenous tribes in South America keep bees. I think if some of these cultures who did not have a hardware store in every corner could build beehives, I'm pretty sure that we could this day without having to spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars. It can be done. I would say I'd also like to give a promo to the Beekeeping Association here, the Ozarks Beekeepers. We have meetings every month, and if you're interested in keeping bees, you've got 200 people in a room who are interested in helping you learn more about bees, helping you avoid the mistakes they made when they were beginners, and we're here to help. So, lots of people.
So when is the next?
Go. I'm sorry.
Jeffrey, when's the next meeting?
The Beekeepers Association of the Ozarks meets every fourth Tuesday, not the last Tuesday, but every fourth Tuesday. Our website is Beekeepers. I'm sorry, no, that's wrong. I'm sorry. The website is Ozarks with an S, Beekeepers with an S.org. Ozarks Beekeepers. You can find us with an easy internet search. If you're looking at beekeeping in Springfield, Missouri, we pop up.
Mm-hmm. So, Jeffrey, if some of our meetup group wants to visit your group in the Ozarks, is there a fee for us to come in and check it out, or do we become members, or how does this work?
Well, it would be great if you became members. Our fee is only $15 a year, which is less than dinner. But if anybody wants to come in and they want to visit and they want to come and check us out a couple of times, our interest is in helping people become better beekeepers and educating the public about beekeeping. It's not about making a ton of money through membership fees. So we're happy to have anybody who wants to come in. Please come join us. Keep an eye on our website as we will be moving our meeting locations. We've outgrown where we're at, and we'll be moving next month. But this month we'll still be meeting at the O'Reilly Cancer Center on the east side of Mercy Hospital in Springfield. It's on Fremont. I believe the address is 2055 South Fremont, fourth Tuesday of the month. And we will help you figure out how to get a beehive, how to get the parts, get the bees in them, and take care of them.
That sounds great. Okay. I'm going to do my best to attend your meeting, next one that's coming up, if possible. By the way, I'm looking at your the website. Looks like there's a picture of the Get Prepared Expo on there. Am I correct? You guys at the expo?
Of
there's
our
a picture
website,
of you with
yes.
a beehive.
Yes, of the Beekeepers Association. Yes. Yep, we've been there.
Great.
3 years now? So.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, I'm all excited. I'm looking forward to coming, and I'm going to mention it to our meetup group. And also please mention it at when you're with the meetup, and let us know all about what we need to do to come over to your meetings. Okay, so let's build a do-it-yourself beehive. What do we need? How big is it? And so forth.
Okay, so the important part to remember is while there are standard equipment for beehives these days, bees are looking for a cavity. So bees have been existing in trees, in the overhangs of cliffs. A natural bee colony will find an opening in your wall and build a hive in the stud space. They love to build a hive in the floor joist space between two floors. So it's not like the bees have to have an exact measurement. That being said, if you use standardized equipment, then you can exchange your bees and equipment with other people, and we can swap resources back and forth so we can act like a community instead of loners out there. And it's nice. However, so let's go back the other direction again. You've got Egyptians who were keeping bees in clay tubes that they made. You've got the pioneers in the Americas who kept bees in hollowed out logs. You've got the English who kept bees in straw skeps. All of those work. It just is much harder to manage the bees. So what we keep bees in now are boxes, manufactured wood boxes. They're easy to design. If you can create a box, then you can create a beehive. We're not talking about complicated joinery or dado cuts or anything here. It's just simply a box. If you want to go on the cheap end, a lot of people like to run with top bars, and they're strips of wood you hang in the top, sort of like top of a file folder, and the bees build the comb down from there. Bees will build all the comb. All we need to do is provide them a suitable cavity to live in. You can buy all the equipment brand new and manufactured and spend a couple $100 on a beehive. You can spend a little bit of your own time and energy and sweat equity and make a beehive with salvaged materials for easily under $100 and a little bit of your time. Bees aren't as picky as some other animals that we try to manage. Bees are fairly easy. We give them a suitable cavity, and they'll normally go to work and make a wonderful beehive for us. They don't need a whole lot of management. We help them out occasionally when they have an issue that comes up, but most of the time they take care of themselves. So beekeeping is not really hard. It's a little challenging if you've never done it before because you're learning a new discipline, but this is not brain surgery. Bees are pretty easy to deal with, and they're very forgiving of our mistakes. When we mess something up, they fix it. So if you want to learn to keep bees and you want to get the benefits of having a couple gallons of honey a year and beeswax to make candles and waterproofing equipment, and you want some beeswax to put on your tools and your axe heads to keep them from rusting, come to the beekeeping meetings. We'll help you figure out how to keep bees. Anybody can do it.
I'm posting on the website a link to your website, and because there's some frequently asked questions, there's some pictures that will give us ideas on how we can get started. So for about $100 or less, and maybe even if we have some scrap lumber lying around, we could almost do it for free if you've got some nails. And what about temperature? How sensitive is our bees to changes in temperature, and what do they need?
This is where they can take care of themselves pretty well as long as we don't mess with them too much and give them the resources necessary. They keep bees all the way up in the Canadian provinces where it's 40 below during the winter. I moved from northern Indiana years ago where we frequently get 3 feet of snow and below zero temperatures. Bees do fine up there. I came down here to the Ozarks where it's much warmer. Our winters are much more mild, and the bees do great down here. Down here, as long as a beehive is well established, you've left it plenty of honey, because honey is what they eat during the winter time. If you've left them plenty of honey and their hive is dry and secure, they will usually overwinter just fine without any help from us. We do not need to wrap them in insulation or do something crazy. They manage their temperature very well. Bees are just insects, so the fact that they are maintaining a heat regimen when it's only 12 degrees outside is a little bit mind-boggling. They do this because they work together, and bees are capable of dislocating the wing from the flight muscles so they can run the flight muscles without moving the wings. This has the same effect as shivering. So you've got 20,000 insects together who cluster together and form sort of an outer shell of linked bodies who are all shivering at the same time. They manage to maintain a core temperature inside that cluster of bees of 90 degrees, even when it's only 12 degrees outside. It's amazing the amount of teamwork they can do. They will survive cold winter with no problem if we give them plenty of food and let them do their job. So they're pretty amazing little creatures.
One of the things that is probably tempting for us if we build this box and we just, decide that we're just going to leave it alone and see what happens, but it's hard not to look in there. How much disruption, how much disruption is it that, let's say we were to peek in there once a week, how bad is that for the bees?
They are fascinating, amazing creatures, and one of the biggest beginner mistakes is that we look at them all the time because they're so cool.
Mm-hmm.
Popping open the lid and taking a look inside is not that big a deal. They can handle that. But every time we open that beehive, we disrupt their workflow. And our job is to look from the entrance more than from the inside. Your management changes from different times of year. Right now it's spring, and like I said, this is their big push time, so we need to check them a little bit more often. But once you get to August and September, once a month is all you have.
How many of you want to learn how to dig up bugs, worms, and raise crickets for food? Do you prefer to eat them dried and crunchy or while still alive? Well, you won't have to if you can defend your food supply from predators. You may want to get an AR-15 kit from guns80.com and build your own AR-15 rifle from a kit. If you can legally own a rifle, you can purchase this AR-15 kit. If you're handy, you can complete the rifle in about an hour. The kit comes with all the parts you're going to need to build your rifle, but you'll need a drill press. And survivalists need one anyway. The Guns80.com team purchased the same used floor-standing drill press that I have for $100. You can too. And when you're finished, you'll have a paperwork-free AR-15 rifle, a drill press, drill bits, and the knowledge to maintain your AR-15 rifle, all for less than you expect. So if you want a paperwork-free AR-15 parts kit like mine, visit Guns80.com, Guns80.com, and let the unprepared have our share of the bugs.
By now, you may have heard a bit about Bitcoins. But did you know Bitcoins are now over an $8.5 billion market? And did you know that over 65,000 businesses now accept Bitcoins? Listen, if you're already earning Bitcoins or trying to make money in the Bitcoin market, you've got to know bidbit.co. Why? Because bidbit.co is where you can easily receive Bitcoins by selling and auctioning off your own personal items or promote business products and services for Bitcoins. You heard right. Whether personal or business, you can now buy, sell, and auction your products and services quickly, easily, and securely for Bitcoin at bidbit.co, the first and only marketplace website to offer BidBit Escrow, a proprietary technology which gives buyers and sellers security and peace of mind because all transactions are protected. Start today. It's free to join, free to post, free to auction, and free to bid at bidbit.co. Buy, sell, bid, or auction everything Bitcoin. That's www.bidbit.co. bidbit.co.
I'm Vincent Finelli of USAPrepares.com. As most of you know, I broadcast weekday mornings on GCN from 9 to 11. And I'm also a full-time farmer. Add to that mix the weekly meetups and the Get Prepared Expo, and this combination makes for a demanding schedule. On the farm, we raise grass-fed Black Angus cattle and provide them with the best variety of summer and fall grasses available. Our cattle are exposed to the extremes of weather, the toxins in the air, and the electromagnetic radiation that's all around us. So even the best grasses and food that we provide are not enough. Our cattle require minerals and supplements for strong health and resistance to disease. And so do we. For these reasons, my mother, our children, Mrs. Finelli, and I all take Longevity, Beyond Tangy Tangerine, De-Stress, Glucogel, and EFA+. USAPreparesTeam.com. And thank you for being in class today.
This alert just came in. This special announcement is for business owners and leaders of organizations who've been waiting for the right time to build. General Steel has made it impossible to wait any longer with rock-bottom prices that could save you thousands. That's right, General Steel, America's leader in pre-engineered structures, is offering buildings at prices you will never see again. Don't miss these prices. A 50 by 100 for $35,000. You heard right, that's 5,000 square feet for $35,000. Manufacturers, if you need a larger building, try a 100 by 100 commercial building for $129,000. You can't afford to rent with these prices. Imagine a 70 by 100-foot church building for under $69,000. With the economy improving and interest rates still at historic lows, you can't afford to wait. So call 866-91-STEEL. Lock in your price now. Call 866-91-STEEL. That's 866-917-8335.
I have bought a few bottles of Heart and Body Extract and have to say that it certainly does work.
That's what Jack from Michigan had to say after his experience with heart pain and what he did to treat it with Heart and Body Extract.
I actually had a huge heart flutter. I was also having some edema around my ankles and very worrisome clot in my right leg that would happen from time to time while I was trying to sleep.
Heart and Body Extract is all natural with no negative side effects. It will help repair or correct past problems associated with the heart and body circulation.
After my second bottle of Heart and Body Extract, all problems are now gone.
Order at hbextract.com or call 866-295-5305.
I ordered a third bottle of Heart and Body Extract for maintenance, as I want to keep everything working.
Order Heart and Body Extract at 866-295-5305 or hbextract.com. Heart and Body Extract for a long and healthy life.
So, class, we're talking with Jeffrey Maddox, maddoxbees.com, MADDOX, bees with an S.com. And if you'd like to visit his website, you certainly are invited to do that. And as well, there's a link on our website, USAPREPARES.com, page number 1. And there's a link to the Ozark Beekeepers and Jeffrey Maddox website. And I invite you to visit. And I also invite you to consider raising your own bees, because as society continues its decline, which we've talked about, you're going to want to raise your own food. And as Jeffrey mentioned earlier in this broadcast class, that if you have an orchard and you have bees, you will double your yield. So which is easier, raising bees and building a box and encouraging bees to live in your neighborhood, or planting twice as many trees? What would you rather do? And sometimes there's some limiting factors like real estate. Can you plant twice as many trees? And I think the easy way to go is bees. Jeffrey?
Bees are easy. One of the things that we wanted to touch on here was how cheap it is to get bees, which leads into the other facet of what's going on major time in the bee world right now. This is swarm season. This is the season when a beehive will produce a second queen and then send off half of their hive in what's called a swarm, which is a little cloud of honeybees flying out with a new queen. And their job is to find a new location to build a second hive. This is how beehives reproduce. It also means, though, that if someone's looking to get bees and they've built a beehive, this is a free way to get bees. Let your friends and your neighbors know that you're looking to get into beekeeping. As beekeepers, we maintain a swarm list. So if a homeowner finds a bunch of bees hanging in the tree, which has been happening all week this week, they look up Beekeepers Association, they call somebody on the swarm list, and the beekeeper will come out and take those bees away for them for free. It's a great way to get a hive started, is to capture a swarm of bees who are looking for a good place to live. You've built a nice place for them to live, so let them come there. If you've built the beehive, you can set it out in your yard. If you can set it in a branch of a tree about 8 feet tall, a swarm will find it and hopefully move in. Then you got bees with almost no effort on your part besides building the hive. But now is swarm season. We, as beekeepers, want to hear about your bees that are in the trees or in the bushes or sitting on the mailbox. I got a call a couple of years ago because a swarm landed on the hood of one of the semi-trucks at the wholesaler grocers, and they called me to come get them. It's fun to go to get a swarm. It's a good way to start your hive, and it helps everybody to increase the bee population.
Jeffrey, I see an image of you on the website, and there you are surrounded by bees, and you've got a short sleeve shirt on.
Sure. Bees can sting. Dogs can bite. People can stab you. It's all in how you treat them. I work bees in shorts and a cut-off T-shirt. I have 20 people standing in my bee yard looking at beehives with me. No one's wearing a veil. No one's wearing a glove. It's easy to work bees. Now, just like some dogs will bite you without provocation, there's some bees who will sting without provocation. Some people are cranky. Some bees are cranky. You'll find that each beehive develops its own personality, just like, each one of your dogs or each one of your children develops a personality, and you'll learn to work with them.
Jeffrey, thanks so much for being with us today and teaching us about bees. And, you know, what we should probably do is set up another class, you and me, and we'll talk about, we'll call this Beekeeping 101. Let's do Beekeeping 102.
There you go.
Let's chat. We'll chat at the meetup. We'll arrange the time, and we'll talk about the next level of beekeeping and why to keep bees. And by the way, let me just ask you a very short answer question. How long does honey last? How long does honey last, Jeffrey?
Honey is the only food that doesn't rot or degrade, so honey is good for hundreds of years.
There you go. Jeffrey Maddox, thank you very much. We'll be right back with guns80.com.
The IRS has garnished your paycheck or seized money from your bank account. You need to get professional tax help now. Fast action is required to put a halt to these aggressive IRS collection tactics. You can count on the knowledgeable team of tax professionals at Wall & Associates. With over 30 years of experience, Wall & Associates has settled the tax problems of thousands of taxpayers for a small fraction of what they owed. For a free face-to-face consultation, call 1-800-425-4610 to put a wall between you and the IRS. 1-800-425-4610 or look for us on the web at wallandassociates.net. We solve tax problems. If you hire Wall & Associates today, you'll never have to talk to the IRS again. To stop the levies and seizures today, take action now. Call Wall & Associates at 1-800-425-4610. Wall & Associates. 1-800-425-4610. Based on actual cases, results may vary, not a solicitation for legal services.
Gold. It's like nothing else on Earth. From the Romans through the Renaissance, from the Industrial Age to the Space Age, gold has weathered the test of time. For 6,000 years, gold has remained the ultimate store of wealth. According to the World Gold Council and the U.S. Mint, demand is at an all-time high. The stage is being set for the reemergence of gold as the common-sense alternative to a fiat paper currency that gets weaker every day. Midas Resources is proud to offer the hard-hitting report that arms you with the truth you need to protect you and your family from the Fed's plans for your hard-earned money. Don't gamble with your future. Call Midas Resources today and ask for your free copy of As Good as Gold. Call 1-800-686-2237 for the report the Fed hopes you'll never see. As Good as Gold can be yours by calling 800-686-2237. If you have ever thought about owning gold, you must read this report. Call Midas today at 800-686-2237.
Quantitative easing, unemployment at depression levels, Europe financial system falling apart, China getting out of U.S. treasuries. At the end of 2008, the time of TARP, the national debt was at $11 trillion, gold trading around $850 per ounce. Close to 2012, the national debt exceeded $16.4 trillion, gold doubled to $1,600 per ounce. The $20 trillion threshold for the national debt is inevitable. Politicians in Washington have a ferocious appetite for spending and stimulus. What's worse, a printing press to finance. 100 years ago, we had a gold standard to limit this madness, but now you have to adopt your own gold standard. Don't be fooled with paper promises. Get Midas Resources 10 Reasons to Buy Gold free by calling 800-686-2237. Understanding the gold and silver market may be the only insurance you could have to avoiding the next economic crises. Call 1-800-686-2237 and order your free copy. Again, that's 800-686-2237.
Everyone all set, cocked, locked. Here we go. Hour number 2 of USAPrepares.com. Class, this broadcast was a long time in the making, and I'm delighted to introduce to you your newest USAPrepares.com instructor. I know him. His name is Joe Moulton. Guns80.com. Guns80.com. You heard the commercials that we run on this broadcast, and I really like these guys because they give me the freedom to do anything I want with commercials, and they don't say no, Vinny. That's a little edgy. That's over the top. Back off. Nope. They say, hey, they love it. So welcome, Joe Moulton.
What are you talking about? Just commercials? You came to us and you've built your own rifle now. You haven't even told them about that yet, have you?
No, and I haven't told them that our daughter called and said, "Hey, Dad, I'd like to get one of those." Dad, 2. Dad, Can you send 3? Dad, 4. Did we place an order for 4, or am I exaggerating?
No, you truly have, and I figure once she gets these, she'll probably get you to get some more. I guess sooner or later it'll be to the point where your wife starts answering my phone calls and stop telling you that I leave you messages. So you never told me, are we going to name this, you wanted to name this model the Vincent or the Finelli or the Model F? What do we decide on?
Model F. And the reason I was thinking for 2 reasons. One is because I like the carry handle. For me, you can accessorize an AR-15 with lights and scope and night vision. I mean, so many different ways you can accessorize it. But for me, I weigh like 138 pounds. I want a lightweight rifle that I can just carry with me quickly, short barrel, swing it around, if I need to, have it on the farm. So I really like the idea of a short, fixed sight, stainless barrel, lightweight, plain Jane rifle. So Model F could be for Finelli. It could be for fixed sights. That's really what I like, and that's what our daughter and her friends have chosen as well. So there are those who want fully loaded, fully accessorized rifle, and for me it's just plain Jane. So Model F is the plain Jane, but it's the one that you won't have to buy another one of. Durable, long lasting, the forged lower receiver, that kind of thing is what intrigues me. And by the way, what are your other customers thinking? What are they like?
To be honest with you, we haven't really had any complaints at all about anything that we've put out there. Everybody seems to be very happy with the barrels and the quality of the rifles. I know I told you at SHOT Show that we had a new dealer come and sign on with us, and he wanted to see about how bad he could have used the rifles, and he went through and he actually had a slide fire stock. Do you know what that is?
Go ahead.
And what it does is it actually makes it so it kind of wants to replicate fully automatic. But so he went through and he bought 2 of our rifles and he took them home, and he was actually pretty amazed. He said he put 800 rounds through it, and he ran it so hard he could barely touch the barrel. And then after that, he went ahead and put another total, I think, another 3,200 rounds through it. So he put 4,000 rounds through one. Then when he did the other one, he did the same thing. He put another 4,000 rounds through it. He said he was trying to abuse it to the point to see if it was going to fail and break, because he didn't want to be giving it to his customers and having them come back on him with problems with our rifle. But he said he couldn't get it to do it, and he came back in the next week and ordered 15 more, and then I think he's been back 2 or 3 times since then. So, I mean, he was really impressed with the quality. We try to make something that, the more and more this goes on, the more and more I want to make rifles that people can have. And I want them to be grid down rifles. I want them to be ready for people. I want people to know what's in their rifle, how to fix their rifle. That's the key to owning a gun. I mean, you can go to any gun store and you can buy a gun, and registry or not, you're not going to know how to fix it. So if something goes wrong, they're going to have to take it to a gunsmith. You're going to have to spend several $100s, if they can fix it at all. But the nice thing about the AR platform is everything's interchangeable. You can go through and buy $2 or $3 part to fix your rifle. Now you haven't, created a $500-600 paperweight. You fixed it yourself. And I mean, it's just the AR platform is amazing. The amount of information that is out there about the AR platform is amazing. It's just it's just limitless what you can do with the AR-15 platform. The different calibers, the 300 blackout, the 7.62x3.9, the SOCOM, the 22 LR. I mean, it goes from a wide variety of shooting the smallest projectile up to the 458 SOCOM, I think it is. I mean, that's a massive projectile. So the AR platform is very, very versatile. It's very, very user friendly, and you can get it very cost effectively. I mean, I would say easily for $2,000 you could create 4 different rifles just off of one platform.
Mm-hmm. And you talked about the 300 AAC blackout. And what that is you take the brass from a 223 or 5.56 and you cut it down, and then you put a 30 caliber projectile in it, or a 30 caliber bullet, and you use the same magazine. You change the barrel, But other than that, the rifle is the same except for the barrel, and use the same magazines. And what I did, I was at a RK prepper show. I was speaking last weekend, and there was a guy who was selling some dyes, and so I bought the dyes for my reloading equipment for the 300 AAC blackout, because that's what I want to do. So, and that's why I said to you, hey Joe, I need a barrel for my AR-15. So that's exactly why, and I haven't mentioned this on the air, but that's why I called you and asked you for information about, what barrels you offer in the 300 AAC. So, Joe, would you please share with us what I'm talking about? What I'm saying is just converting.
Sure.
Or
the nice thing about
platform.
No, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
The nice thing about it is I wouldn't suggest to swap out the barrel. And the reason why that becomes a little bit more cumbersome and you have to worry about head spacing issues and things like that, what I would actually suggest is buy you a separate upper. And the reason why is because there's two pins that you pull out. You can pull your upper off. You can stick your other upper on. Your same charging handle and the actual bolt carry through. That's what I would suggest for simple change out. But you know what? There are people out there, and I know that your crowd is very mechanically enhanced, and that is something you can do. All you have to do is change out your barrel, and you go from the 5.56 223, you go straight into the 300 blackout. The nice thing about the 300 blackout is it does give you a 30 caliber solution. It's a 30 cal AR. Here in Virginia, we can't actually hunt big game with the 223 5.56. They want you to actually have a 30 caliber. So I could take my AR-15, put a 300 blackout on there. Now I'm able to hunt deer with it and stuff like that. Before, with a 223 5.56, you're not allowed to actually hunt deer with it. So I mean, that's one nice thing about it. And it does a lot of the same stuff as the AK round does. It has a lot of the same shooting patterns and things like that. But again, it just proves to the versatility and my love of the AR platform, just the way that everything's so easily interchangeable. And as you were talking about, you don't have to go out and buy new magazines. You don't have to buy a new bolt carrier group. You don't have to buy a new lower half. And also another great thing about it is you don't lose any magazine capacity either. So if you have a 30-round clip before, you have a 30-round clip after. You just have 300 blackout in it instead of the 5.56 or the 223.
The interesting thing about we're talking about our family and the AR-15s. I didn't call our daughter and say, "Hey, you know what you need? You need an AR-15." She called me and said, "Hey, Dad, what do you think? What? How do you suggest we configure this AR-15? Because I want to get an AR-15." So she, it wasn't like I was prompting her or encouraging her. I'm just following the questions that she asked me, and she's driving me crazy. I mean, because she keeps asking for more and more, and now her friends. I guess she mentioned it to one of her friends that she was going to get one, and then another one of her friends wanted to get one, then another one, then another one. So they're all going to study together, and each one is going to complete his or her own AR-15. And let's talk about that. Let's just talk about. So let's say there's several individuals who want to do it together, the camaraderie and also the learning and avoiding making any mistakes. So they want to build it together, but they can't build an assembly line and do this. They have to individually make their own from beginning to end. Isn't that correct?
Correct. You're 100% correct. The way it's worded by the ATF is that you have to create your own rifle. So I can't ship you her rifles. You build them and give her to her. That doesn't work that way. She's going to have to build her own rifle. Her friends are going to have to build her own rifle. But there's nothing that says that you can't sit around with your friends. One of you use the drill press. The next one come up and set up a drill press. The third one do it. And I've seen a lot of fathers and sons wanting to do it together. Mm-hmm. With Mother's Day coming up, maybe we'll do a mother-daughter special. See what we can actually work out there. I think it's something that everyone needs to know about it. I mean, just for preparedness, the versatility of the AR-15 platform. I mean, you can have all kinds of other rifles, but the way I look at an AR-15 is it's actually made to take a little bit of abuse. And when you're talking about preparedness, you want something that's going to be able to take a little bit of abuse. And that's another thing about it. But as you said, I think it's a great thing for people to get together and do it. You know, you can sit down, you guys can watch the videos together, take notes together. You know, they can remind each other things about the video, because it's always better to have more than one set of eyes on something, especially when you're doing it for the first time. And I think a group of friends is the best way to do it.
So, Joe Moulton, when we come back, let's take a few minutes and talk about, all right, so this box has arrived. It's arrived in U.S. mail. We bought it with no registration. The government has no need to know about it. It's absolutely perfectly above board and legal to buy an AR-15 box of parts and then assemble it, and then we still don't need to tell the government about it. It's all above board. Let's talk about the process of building that AR-15. By now you know that USAPrepares.com is your source for water filtration systems. Here at the farm, we use our water filtration system for drinking, cooking, and for our cats and dogs. Which brand are we using? Well, that would be the ProPure system, because it filters out pathogens, microbes, chlorine, and fluoride. Multiple sources indicate that fluoride is responsible for lowering our IQs by 5%. Now, how many of you would like to sign up for a lower IQ? USAPrepares.com offers ProPure water filtration systems and accessories at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate. We buy them by the pallet loads and pass the savings on to you. And if you're outside of Missouri, there's no sales tax. And if this appeals to you, visit USAPrepares.com. That's USAPrepares.com. You can order online, and we have the ProPure water filtration systems in stock, ready to ship. USAPrepares.com. ProPure water filtration systems at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate.
Hi, John Hubner from Midas Resources. Are you tired of watching your hard-earned assets dwindle away? As government spending is out of hand and the Federal Reserve is creating in excess of $20 billion a week, are you tired of stockbrokers gambling away your hard-earned money? Is this market a setup for a crash greater than 1987? Too many of today's policies resemble those that led to the collapse of 1929. This is John Hubner, and that was me in 2007. And we all know what happened when the subprime credit bubble burst. By March 2009, the dollar lost 50% of its value. The entire U.S. banking system was on the verge of collapsing. Like all financial problems of the past, is history about to repeat itself? Call me, John Hubner, at 1-800-686-2237, extension 129, before it's too late to protect yourself. Will the oncoming catastrophe take all private IRAs, 401ks with it? There is a way to protect your hard-earned assets. Call me, John Hubner, at 1-800-686-2237, extension 129.
I'm Vincent Finelli of USAPrepares.com. As most of you know, I broadcast weekday mornings on GCN from 9 to 11. And I'm also a full-time farmer. Add to that mix the weekly meetups and the Get Prepared Expo, and this combination makes for a demanding schedule. On the farm, we raise grass-fed Black Angus cattle and provide them with the best variety of summer and fall grasses available. Our cattle are exposed to the extremes of weather, the toxins in the air, and the electromagnetic radiation that's all around us. So even the best grasses and food that we provide are not enough. Our cattle require minerals and supplements for strong health and resistance to disease. And so do we. For these reasons, my mother, our children, Mrs. Finelli, and I all take Longevity, Beyond Tangy Tangerine, De-Stress, Glucogel, and EFA+. USAPreparesTeam.com. And thank you for being in class today.
If the IRS has garnished your paycheck or seized money from your bank account, you need to get professional tax help now. Fast action is required to put a halt to these aggressive IRS collection tactics. You can count on the knowledgeable team of tax professionals at Wall & Associates. With over 30 years of experience, Wall & Associates has settled the tax problems of thousands of taxpayers for a small fraction of what they owed. For a free face-to-face consultation, call 1-800-425-4610 to put a wall between you and the IRS. 1-800-425-4610. 1-800-425-4610 or look for us on the web at wallandassociates.net. We solve tax problems. If you hire Walland Associates today, you'll never have to talk to the IRS again. To stop the levies and seizures today, take action now. Call Walland Associates at 1-800-425-4610. Wall and Associates, 1-800-425-4610. Based on actual cases, results may vary, not a solicitation for legal services.
Class, I'm kind of chuckling because when I first talked with Joe Moulton months and months and months ago about coming on the air, I was like, well, I don't know. I was a little nervous. And that doesn't seem to be the case anymore, does it? Joe, I'm so glad you're with me here at USA Prepares. You know, I was looking at the website, your website, and you've got something that we're going to build an AR-15 right now, but you've got something that I think is really intriguing, and I'd like to suggest that the class, if you buy a gun kit from guns80.com, same kind that our daughter and her friends have purchased and paid for already, you consider the 223556 laser bore sight. What do you think about that? $12, Joe?
You know, I definitely think it's a worthwhile investment, especially at the cost of ammo. You can actually sight your gun in long before you ever need it, and you don't have to waste any ammo on doing it.
Right, and so this is a case, and it's got a laser sight in it and some batteries, and you just pop this. We'll call it a cartridge, but it doesn't have a projectile, and it doesn't have any powder or primer. You just put this shell casing in with a laser built in. Put it in the chamber, and then you can see this red dot, 25, 50, 100 yards away, and then you sight your rifle into that red dot that's downrange. Of course, you never want to look at that, and you never want to point that laser at anyone because you can be blind from it. Okay, so be very careful with it. But the bottom line is it's a great way to sight your rifle in without making a lot of noise, without wasting a lot of ammo, and it'll get you on the paper right away. So I think that's at guns80.com on the accessories tab. Okay, so Joe, let's start building our rifle. So we order the rifle, we decide what we're going to get, and we can talk about different kits that you have available. But okay, so the kit arrives. Now what do we do?
Well, the first thing that I would actually suggest is that you just make sure that you have a very good base knowledge of it. I would sit down and watch the videos, take a couple of notes for yourself. Just make sure that you're prepared for the task that you're going to take. It's really a simple task. Anyone can do it. You just want to make sure that you're well informed. The next thing that I would suggest, and you wouldn't believe the calls I've got on it, is to go and get you some magnetic trays from Harbor Freight. And make sure that you take all your parts and dump them into the magnetic trays. And you won't believe how many people have called and said they've lost this little piece or that little piece.
Wow.
So just to make sure that you have them all contained with the magnetic trays, you don't have to worry about them rolling away or losing them. And then the next thing I would say is just make sure that you've actually practiced up on your drill press, because that's the first thing that you're going to need before you put any rifle together is you're going to have to use your drill press. You're going to have to make sure that you have a basic understanding of your drill press. Once you've done that, then I would take out the pieces of the actual kit, inspect them, make sure that everything's there. With your previous research, you'll know that all the pieces that are coming there. On the FAQ section of our website, there is some information. It does need to be more updated, and we're going to put some more information out, parts list and things like that, and I'm going to go into and have a more detailed video series coming up later on as we go through the year, so you can see everything done step by step. 99% of our kits are the test fire ones, so the nice part about that is your upper's already been taken care of. We actually have a guy take every upper, go out, test fire them, make sure that it cycles, puts 3 rounds through it just to make sure that you're not going to have any problems. And the nice thing about that is that's where the actual dangerous part of the actual firearm is, in the upper half, and we're actually taking care of that for you. So that'll actually be taken care of when you get your kit on 95% of our kits. The next thing I would suggest is that you sit down and you start milling on your kit. If you choose polymer, if you choose aluminum, completely up to personal preference. Polymer is a lot easier than aluminum. just because it is a actual polymer material, a plastic material compared to aluminum. When you use the aluminum, you want to make sure that you have a little bit higher grade of tool. Make sure that you have a drill press. I've actually heard of people taking them and doing them in an apartment with a hand drill, an actual and a Dremel tool. Not what we would suggest by any means, but I mean, if it has to get done and it gets to that point, you can get it done that way. The way that we actually suggested is that you go ahead and actually mill out the fire control pocket, and then you go ahead and actually drill the holes from both sides. That way it makes sure that you've actually got the truer setting for the holes. If you drill them all the way through, sometimes your bit can get misaligned going through. But if you drill them from both sides, and make sure that you've got the extra precision to make sure that it's going to line up properly.
Okay, Joe, hold that thought. We're going to continue building the AR-15. Now you know that USAprepares.com is your source for water filtration systems. Here at the farm, we use our water filtration system for drinking, cooking, and for our cats and dogs. Which brand are we using? Well, that would be the ProPure system, because it filters out pathogens, microbes, chlorine, and fluoride. Multiple sources indicate that fluoride is responsible for lowering our IQs by 5%. Now, how many of you would like to sign up for a lower IQ? USAprepares.com offers ProPure water filtration systems and accessories at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate. We buy them by the pallet loads and pass the savings on to you. And if you're outside of Missouri, there's no sales tax. And if this appeals to you, visit USAprepares.com. That's USAPREPARES.com. You can order online, and we have the ProPure water filtration systems in stock, ready to ship. USAprepares.com. ProPure water filtration systems at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate.
It's time to build your own emergency food stockpile with the industry leader, My Patriot Supply. Once you try them, you'll know why so many Americans like you have made them part of their emergency preparedness plan. Experience the My Patriot Supply difference today with this unbelievable offer. Right now, a 4-week food supply is only $99, and that includes free shipping. That's 50% off the online price. Call 800-274-3070 to claim yours. Limit 2 per caller while supplies last. This offer isn't available online, so you want to make sure and grab this opportunity to get prepared today. 800-274-3070 to get your 4-week food supply for the incredible price of only $99, and it'll be shipped to you completely free. Call 800-274-3070 right now. That's 800-274-3070 to claim yours while supplies last. Don't wait. Call today.
Attention taxpayers! If you've received a notice from the IRS or state, do not ignore it. It's also a big mistake to try and handle your tax problem on your own. If you owe back taxes, it's a fact that the government has the power to take everything you own, including your home, business, wages, savings, and your freedom. But here's the good news. There's a special toll-free tax hotline set up especially for you. This tax hotline will tell you about new programs that are geared to help you dramatically settle, reduce, or eliminate what you owe. But you have to call now. Take down this number or put it in your cell phone. But call 877-345-7645. That's 877-345-7645. When you call, you get free information on how you can reduce or eliminate back taxes, including penalties and interest. You can also be helped if you have unfiled returns, a tax lien, wage garnishment, bank levy, or if you've been entered into a payment plan but can't make the payments. Don't make the big mistake in thinking you can ignore or handle your tax problem on your own. You can stop the collection process immediately at 1-877-345-7645. That's 1-877-345-7645. 1-877-345-7645.
Stress, like many conditions in a fast-paced society, is at epidemic proportions, and one of the most effective ways to support your body during periods of excessive stress is by replacing the nutrients expended during that time. De-stress contains large amounts of B-complex vitamins, in addition to vitamin C, magnesium, and valerian root extract. For more information on this and other great products, contact Lady Talk Live at 855-333-5239. Majestic Earth's Beyond Tangy Tangerine contains no artificial sweeteners or preservatives and is glycemic friendly. This easy dissolving powder contains plant-derived minerals, vitamins, amino acids, and 115 fruits and vegetables. I can't think of anything better for you. For more information on this and other great products, contact Lady Talk Live at 855-333-5239. That's 855-333-LADY.
If you constantly feel run down and tired, your pH level might be low, and your body could be full of toxins. If what you drink is not at a pH level of 8 or higher, you are inviting bacteria and acid to thrive in your body. But there is something you can do. Simply add 10 drops of AlkaVision Plasma pH drops to your water to help your body rid itself of acidic waste, increase oxygen, and raise your pH balance to optimum levels. AlkaVision Plasma pH drops combine a unique formula of the most alkaline minerals in the world, alkalizing the water you drink, ridding your body of acidic waste and toxins, and helping you regain energy and vibrant health. And studies show viruses, bacteria, and toxins cannot survive in an alkaline, high pH environment. Order your bottle of AlkaVision Plasma pH drops at alkavision.com. That's ALKA vision.com. Or call 269-409-1776. 269-409-1776. Alkalize your body. Supercharge your health at alkavision.com today.
Joe Moulton's with us, and he's with guns80.com, guns80.com. And you hear the advertisements for guns80.com right here on the network. And I can tell you that our family has purchased many of them. And that's because each member of our family wants to know about how these rifles are constructed. They like the great value, really the great value. And they like the fact, every member likes the fact that it's private and it's legal. Joe, let's just discuss just for a second the privacy component. Is that something that others who call you that who I don't know about, are they interested in privacy as well?
You know, that's really truly the key of the whole thing is that you know, not only are you going to have the knowledge of how to repair your rifle, but it's a rifle that no one knows that you have. And then, I mean, that's the key. I mean, we never know what could be coming next. And the nice thing about having a rifle that nobody knows about is that's a perfect tool. You know, there's two things in the end that are going to really be important. And I really enjoyed going to your expo. And one thing I liked the most about it was, I mean, there were people there to sell products, and that's all great and good, but the knowledge that you want to give people was the key to everything, and that's going to be the key to it. If something does happen where society breaks down, knowledge is going to be the key, and there won't be these sources to get it at that point. So I really, you know, appreciate the fact that you give people knowledge of that, and you know, as you said, the knowledge of knowing how to work your own rifle, the privacy of you being the only person that you know, or, you know, you and your buddies, whoever you wanted to share it with. I mean, it's the key to everything. It's just that privacy is the real key. It's the real importance, because we don't know what the future holds, politically or, you know, just the way things are going to work out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can honestly say that I believe things are going to get a lot worse before they get better. I think that, and I've said this publicly, that I believe we're going to be in this for at least 20 years of decline before we return to, you know, what was a lot better. You know, I'm a product of the 1950s, and Andy of Mayberry is gone. I live in the middle of nowhere, and I am responsible for the safety of our family. You know, I'm not even going to consider calling the police to come to my rescue. I advocate not calling 911, never call 911. And I advocate taking care of yourself. Now, I don't mean go out and kill people, but, you know, if you're threatened and you have to come to that point, you should have made that decision ahead of time. Are you willing to do the ultimate to protect you and your family should you become in a life-threatening situation? So our family has gone through that question decades ago, and we've all agreed that, yeah, if we have to, we will. We're not advocating killing people. However, we are not going to be killed if we can help it. So my suggestion to this broadcast classroom is that if you're serious about protecting your family and defending your family, and you have a right to do that, I suggest you consider getting an AR-15. I love the platform. I love the flexibility. One thing that we haven't talked about yet is, you know, what about changing down from a 223 or 5.56 to a 22 long rifle? As a matter of fact, 22 long rifle is ammunition is way more expensive than it was when I was a child. However, it's still probably among the least expensive. It makes the least amount of noise, and you can practice with your full-size AR-15 just by changing the bolt group. And you can do that for about $200. So same barrel, same upper, same lower, same everything, except for the bolt and the magazine, and you can get a kit for about $200. Each member of our family has that, and I suggest you consider doing that as well. Joe, are you going to offer those kinds of conversion kits as well?
For sure. That's what we're looking forward to go into the future. We're trying to slowly branch out into every part of the actual AR platform as we can. Just, we're trying to keep up with the current demand. It's a lot to actually expand into new things. But yeah, we've been looking into the 22 LR conversions. Because as you said, I mean, the nice thing about it is it makes it so it's really cost effective to use your rifle. It doesn't make a lot of noise. And it's just, another enhancement to the actual AR-15 platform. I mean, it's a very, very cheap conversion. Plus, the reliability of your gun. You know what you have there. You've built it yourself. You've got the standard behind it. It's something else that you should have for sure.
Yeah, and the reason that I advocate getting a 22 long rifle conversion, that's just a very small cartridge. They used to be available everywhere. And for those young people whom you want to teach to shoot and shoot safely, you can start with the 22 long rifle in a full-size AR-15. So you have the collapsible stock. You can adjust the stock for the size of the person, and you can plink with cartridges that are not intimidating at first, and you can move on up to the 223, 556, 30, 300 blackout. I mean, so it's a great way to go, and you don't have to buy a whole bunch of rifles. And you're used to this particular rifle with this sighting system. It's a great way to go, and I truly advocate it. And by the way, Mrs. Finelli and I both sleep with AR-15s. Seriously, we sleep with them, and we have for this is nothing new. So I suggest that you might consider doing that as well. In Missouri, we have just passed an amendment that says we have the right to bear arms. Now, in Missouri, that means, to me, that there is no age limit. That means that 4 years old, 94 years old, and everywhere in between, can own a firearm, unless, a person's a convicted felon. Other than that, if you can own a firearm, you can have an AR-15 at any age. And I suggest that we consider doing that before there's more restrictions on us. What do you think, Joe?
Didn't Missouri just pass that law that federal firearm laws would not supersede Missouri laws? Is that right?
Yeah, Missouri is working on that, and that's a great way to go. And not only is Missouri working on that, but other states as well. And what we're talking about is sovereignty. What the federal government, that little 20 square miles in Washington, D.C., they're not going to push the rest of us around. And as soon as the rest of the states get enough testosterone to push back and say, you know what, you guys, we don't want to listen to you, a bunch of parasites anyway. So I think that's a really good move that all states should follow. So Joe, let's finish building. So we've drilled and milled, and how long has that taken us?
It really just depends. Yeah, I mean, it shouldn't take you that long. My theory on life is that you always measure twice and cut once.
Right.
Just to make sure that you don't make any mistakes. But, I would say at tops 20 minutes, you should be able to have it done.
Okay.
I mean, at that point, you may want to take your time and clean it out with a hand tool. You can do something as easy as a file, or you can use a Dremel tool. You just want to make sure that your fire control pocket's nice and clean, that you've gone through and cleaned out, so there's nothing left in the actual the different holes and the actual trigger hole, and just make sure that you got nice clean cuts on all of them. And then the next part you're going to go through is assembly. And, what I would suggest for the instruction on the assembly is the internet's a great resource. Once again, sit down, watch the video, watch it twice, make your notes. and then go through and assemble, and you should have no problems putting in your complete lower part kit within 20 to 30 minutes without any problems.
Okay, so now we're saying that by the time we're done, 20 plus 20, 40 minutes, 50 minutes, less than an hour, but it's not a race. You know, you don't need to race through it. And I think you should enjoy the time, building this or finishing this AR-15. Now, although the person who owns it needs to complete it from step one through the final step, others can watch and learn. So, for example, in our case with our daughter, let's say she starts. She can, they can all watch the video together and watch it again, maybe even watch it 3 times, YouTube videos on how to do it, and then begin the process. And let's say our daughter starts first. She completes hers, and then the next person could say, wow, that was really easy. I can drill those 3 holes and, mill and all the parts are there anyway. So I think it'd be a lot of fun. I think it'd be a great afternoon for a group. And then they can all take their rifles out and go to the range and start plinking away. What do you think?
I definitely agree. The commercial that you made really hit home when you were talking about, do you like to eat bugs? I don't know if your whole class has heard it, but that just really drives it home to me for preparedness. And I think, friends should be with friends building AR-15s. It's a good pastime, and, it's just a skill. It's something that people need to know. Like everyone should know how to make fire without a flint and steel. I mean, everyone should know the basic things out there on how to actually go through and make this. And I believe this is one of the things. I mean, in the end, as I stated before, it's going to be knowledge, and then it's going to be basic tools. As long as you've prepared yourself with the basic tools and you have the knowledge, the possibilities are endless. I mean, we're going back to where we started. If we've forgotten all those skills, we've become too specialized.
Right.
People have forgotten how to farm. People have forgotten how to plant crops. People have forgotten how to make it for themselves, how to do these things. And it's something that I think we're going to be facing really soon. It's going to take us back to these things. And people need to know how to protect themselves. You can't trust the police are going to be there. I mean, I've read reports of the cops being hours, an hour or more to respond. An hour's a long time, especially.
And I don't want to call the cops. I'll give you a perfect example. We put on the website this story about this woman, and her estranged husband was breaking into her house. So there's a protection order keeping him away, but it didn't keep him away. So he was breaking into her house, and it looks like she was going to get killed. So she pulled a shotgun, and the next thing, the cops show up. The cops show up and shoot her. They shoot her. She's the victim. She's the victim of a home invasion, and the cops shoot her. Another guy gets arrested without incident. Next thing you know, his spine's broken and he's dead as a result of the police. Don't call the cops. Don't call the cops. By now you know that USAPrepares.com is your source for water filtration systems. Here at the farm, we use our water filtration system for drinking, cooking, and for our cats and dogs. Which brand are we using? Well, that would be the ProPure system, because it filters out pathogens, microbes, chlorine, and fluoride. Multiple sources indicate that fluoride is responsible for lowering our IQs by 5%. Now, how many of you would like to sign up for a lower IQ? USAPrepares.com offers ProPure water filtration systems and accessories at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate. We buy them by the pallet loads and pass the savings on to you. And if you're outside of Missouri, there's no sales tax. And if this appeals to you, visit USAPrepares.com. That's USAPrepares.com. You can order online, and we have the ProPure water filtration systems in stock, ready to ship. USAPrepares.com. ProPure water filtration systems at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate.
Gold isn't for you? Ted Anderson, president of Midas Resources, one of the world's premier gold and precious metal investing firms. I get it. You wouldn't buy gold if you believed that the government is doing a great job, that the Fed will stop handing out trillions of dollars like bailout candy, that Social Security would be there for you. That's not what's happening. You might even pass on gold if the stimulus package wouldn't fuel inflation, or that the dollar wouldn't lose value, or that your retirement would be secure. If all looks rosy to you, then now is not the time to buy gold. For the realist, there have never been more sobering reasons to diversify with gold. Since 2001, the US dollar index has tanked 30% while gold has risen 300%. Right now, savvy investors are adding gold to their portfolios. You should too. Find out what they know. Call us and I'll send you 10 reasons why gold will do very well, free. 800-686-2237. 800-686-2237. That's 800-686-2237.
If the IRS has garnished your paycheck or seized money from your bank account, you need to get professional tax help now. Fast action is required to put a halt to these aggressive IRS collection tactics. You can count on the knowledgeable team of tax professionals at Wall & Associates. With over 30 years of experience, Wall & Associates has settled the tax problems of thousands of taxpayers for a small fraction of what they owed. For a free face-to-face consultation, call 1-800-425-4610 to put a wall between you and the IRS. 1-800-425-4610 or look for us on the web at wallandassociates.net. We solve tax problems. If you hire Wall & Associates today, you'll never have to talk to the IRS again. To stop the levies and seizures today, take action now. Call Wall & Associates at 1-800-425-4610. Wall & Associates. 1-800-425-4610. Based on actual cases, results may vary, not a solicitation for legal services.
Can Heart and Body Extract help with other ailments besides heart conditions, high blood pressure, clogged arteries, or unbalanced cholesterol? It did for Karen.
I've been using Heart and Body Extract for approximately 2 weeks. I've had an earwax buildup problem for many years, with over-the-counter stuff not working at all. I had very poor hearing due to this earwax buildup. Well, after 2 weeks of taking Heart and Body Extract, my earwax buildup almost completely cleared up. Could this be the effect of better body circulation?
Heart and Body Extract is an effective 100% organic nutritional supplement specially formulated to allow your body to heal itself.
My hearing is almost completely back to normal. I'm amazed.
Order by calling 866-295-5305 or online at hbextract.com. That's 866-295-5305 or hbextract.com. Heart and Body Extract for a long and healthy life.
For over 5 years, you've been hearing about the Berkey guy, so you may know a few things about him. For example, you are well aware of the superior quality and effectiveness of Berkey water filters and accessories. But did you know the Berkeys have had independent lab tests done to prove just how effective they are? It's true, and he can email you the test results. Just visit goberkey.com. You may also know that the Berkey guy has helped tens of thousands of people get better prepared. Now here's something you may not know. GoBerkey.com has amazing specials and deals all the time on a wide variety of survival and preparedness products. Most ready to ship same day. Visit the Berkey guy at goberkey.com and be sure to click the red Products on Sale Now button. You can always call toll-free 877-886-3653. Again, that's 877-886-3653. GoBerkey.com, home of the Berkey guy.
Joe, I was on the phone with John Statmiller, and John Statmiller came to the Get Prepared Expo. I know you met him at the event, and he said to me, last night, he said, "Hey, Vinny, I'm looking forward to having Joe Moulton on the air with me on the network." I said, "Oh, John, he is going to be on your network tomorrow." So this broadcast that we're doing right now will be aired on another network, Republic Broadcasting, starting in a few minutes. So that was kind of neat. So you're going to get a chance to have exposure with yet another classroom on Republic Broadcasting. And Joe, the thing that we're doing is we're telling people that, you know what, you can have an AR-15, you can have a rifle, you can have it privately, you can learn how to do it, you can build it, and you can do it for less than $500. You've got a sale going on right now. I believe it's $470. Well, roughly $475, 2 magazines, barrel, complete kit, everything you need except the ammo, right? Everything you need, complete in the box. Just finish it for less than an hour, right?
You're 100%. You're 100% correct. You're talking about our Hillary special. we decide.
Yeah, and I'm going to
Hillary. Go ahead.
I'm going to do a commercial about that, and probably this week. And basically, what it's going to say is, I thought Barack Obama, also known as Barry Soetoro, is the guy that we all voted for gun salesperson of the year. But you know what? We can vote for Hillary Clinton as gun salesperson of the year, and I think we should vote early and often. And all you have to do is buy an AR-15. From guns80.com. And that's what the commercial is going to say. It's going to say, you can, this is America. You can vote as often as you want.
As long as you're voting the right way.
And as a matter of fact, our family cast 6 votes for Hillary Clinton as gun salesman of the year. And yes, I did say gun salesman.
I think she's actually going to top him, and I think she's going to blow him away. Just from stuff that happened in the past. I mean, before they decided that people shouldn't have extended capacity magazines, and they,
right.
the Brady Bill did a lot of different things for stuff. And I wouldn't be sure that those things are, that she's not going to try to do those things again. I mean, behind every great man, there's a great woman. Well, I'm guessing that she probably, I asked my wife for a lot of help and things and tell me where to lead things. And I can't imagine a president wouldn't ask his wife to help put in her mindset on the country. And if that's something that they were for, I mean, it just worries me about what they're going to do again.
One of our instructors met Hillary Clinton and when she was on the board of directors at Walmart in Bentonville, Arkansas. And one of our instructors, met with her at corporate headquarters, and he said she is the most evil person he has ever met. And that was many years ago when he met her. And I have a post on the website that says, speeding 92 in a 65. Hillary Clinton, reckless driving in the rain. Driver should be arrested, tried, and convicted. Yes, Hillary Clinton's black van was doing 92 miles an hour in the rain in a 65-mile-an-hour zone. So if you want to follow her lead, if you think she should be president, we have someone who's absolutely over-the-top reckless. I'm not interested in supporting Hillary Clinton, but I am interested in helping vote for her as salesperson of the year for AR-15s.
Yeah, well, we're definitely excited about what we have coming down the pike. Hopefully, we're putting the final touches on the Model F, and there should be pictures of that up within about a week. But trying to get all those together, and I think you'll be very, very impressed with what we've come up with. I've done a lot of searching and done a lot of research, and it's going to be something really nice. It's going to be it's going to give you a lot of flexibility. I was looking for a nice screwed down rifle that, if something does happen, you'll be ready. And that was the key of what I was looking for. And then, with everything that you told me that you were looking for, we pieced it together, and I think we've got something great coming out.
And that's the Model F.
Model F.
I love it. Hey, Joe Moulton, thank you so much for being a USA Preparedness.com instructor and making available great AR-15 rifle kits without paperwork for those of us who choose to assemble them in the privacy of our own homes without paperwork. Class, above all, honesty and integrity. What happens next is up to you. Guns80.com, guns80.com.
This alert just came in. This special announcement is for business owners and leaders of organizations who've been waiting for the right time to build. General Steel has made it impossible to wait any longer with rock-bottom prices that could save you thousands. That's right, General Steel, America's leader in pre-engineered structures, is offering buildings at prices you will never see again. Don't miss these prices. A 50 by 100 for $35,000. You heard right, that's 5,000 square feet for $35,000. Manufacturers, if you need a larger building, try a 100 by 100 commercial building for $129,000. You can't afford to rent with these prices. Imagine a 70 by 100-foot church building for under $69,000. With the economy improving and interest rates still at historic lows, you can't afford to wait. So call 866-91-STEEL. Lock in your price now. Call 866-91-STEEL. That's 866-917-8335.
So we decided to upgrade the look of our home.
You know, improve the curb appeal.
We decided to add the look of stone to the exterior.
We really like the stacked stone look.
Yeah, but when I checked into the price, it was ridiculous. No way could we afford it.
Then a friend told me about Genstone. Genstone.
Genstone comes in lightweight panels made of polyurethane. They've actually engineered the hassle out of installation. No mortar, no mesh. It was easy. Even I could do it.
We just screwed the panels to the wall and it looks like stone. I mean, it really looks like stone.
Yeah, from the box to the wall in minutes.
We love the look of our home now.
And Genstone is durable, comes with a 25-year warranty, and offers additional R value for insulation.
If you want the look of stone at a price you can afford, call Genstone.
At 855-955-STONE.
Trust me, you'll save money.
And you'll love the look.
855-955-STONE. That's 855-955-7866.